Hey everyone, I was curious. I'm curious about this concept and I wanted to speak on it, but I'm going to ask you what you think. And the question is this: what do you do when you are in the storm? What do you do when you are in the storm? Before I get started, I wanted to thank you for subscribing to my channel. I also wanted to thank you for listening in. Thank you for including me in your day. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hit the little subscribe button down in the right hand corner and then hit the little bell notification, which lets you know about every new video that I send through to you. All right, in the eye of the storm, one of the things that I decided to do when I came up with a logo for my business Valiant, was to use the Viking symbol Vigvisor or Vigvisor. And what that is there's a scepter. There is 8 different scepters, like you would see somebody conquering the seas. And what it means symbolically is, for every storm, for every problem that you encounter, there's a way through it. And that's been a great mantra for my life, because for every storm that I've been through, I've made it through, but I've persevered. So let me ask you this: when you're faced with old memories, or you're faced with family members with the same mindset that they've always had, the same habits, the same routines, the same comments, what do you do? What do you do when you are in their midst and you have the time, especially when you have little ones where you need to share the time with them? What do you do? Do you duck and run? Do you take moments and leave their space, leave that space so that you can collect your thoughts and figure out how you're going to manage? That's more like me. Give you an example of that. A couple of moments this morning, as well as a couple of moments in my trip to visit my family, and I found myself in moments where I found myself triggered. And it's been all me that has been triggered, and it's been them, but it's been me, because what I'm doing in that effect is I'm taking responsibility for my comments and what I've said. I can only control those things. So the things that I've said, the feelings that I feel. So if I want to continue feeling those feelings because so and so said whatever they said, that's on me. If I want to do that, all I'm doing is making myself feel worse than I need to feel, or taking myself away from the happiness and joy that I could feel in my heart. So in essence, you're just fooling yourself by hacking over it again and again. Now, what I've come to terms with is, and I keep being reminded of that over and over, is that I am not going to change somebody's mindset, but I can have an effect. I can have a positive one, or I can continue to remind them of a negative experience for which they've had trauma, for which they could continue to remember as such. Now, it could go either way if you wanted to. I would advise you to take the high road. It's taken me a long time to be able to get to that position where I don't have to worry about certain things that bother me. Look at this big piece of sea glass I just found. Put that in my pocket. When I have had issues in my past, I come down to the ocean. And what has helped me get through some cathartic times is to look for sea glass and find it. And why this is valuable to me is it's a memory of, it's a reminder of, and it's a feeling of things that I can do for myself to change the way I feel bad about myself. It's also a memory of how far I've come. What does that mean to you? Nothing. It's just a story. What is it to me? It's everything. It's everything. Because what I've done with the sea glass, instead of lefting it as something that I could collect, I've turned it into something else. I've created pendants with it, and I've produced them in such a way where I've wrapped them and you can wear them on necklaces. And that to me is taking it's a perfect analogy, really. It's taking something that somebody has thrown away into the ocean, and the ocean, as powerful as it is, has tumbled it, has cracked it apart, and has created something beautiful of it. And that is an analogy that I subscribe to, and that is one that you should too, because here's how that goes. Here's the good analogy part about that. Let's plug that in. If you are able to transform your thoughts into the old thoughts that you had into something beautiful, you've got it made. If you're able to take the old thoughts and trauma that you had and the feelings around those and the mind stories and transform them and transmute them and put them back out into the world as something that people resonate with, put something tangible out there, put something practical out there, you are already going to attract those. You're going to attract great people. You're going to attract wonderful things into your life. And that's what I am aspiring to do. That's what I'm aspiring to do. So the sea glass, of which I've collected for a long time and made something with them, and I've transformed them, represents how I have learned to conquer the feelings that I've had, the trauma that I've had, and turn it into something wonderful. How have you done that with things in your life? Have you done anything like that yet? Or have you just decided that it doesn't matter if you decided to stop, distract yourself with the internet, Facebook, distract yourself with more videos of other things, something that wastes your time like Netflix? What have you done? What do you do? I really think that you should think about that, because are you truly distracting yourself? From that connection to yourself, of actually making a go of figuring it out? Or are you going to stay where you are? Are you going to stay where you are in that? I'm going to leave it there, because I think my message has come through this video. I hope it helps you. And I'm sure there's many of you that this resonates with. What do you do when you're in the storm? Do you persevere, knowing that on the other end, you're going to have the biggest breakthrough you've ever had? Or do you shut down? Do you shut down and do you distract yourself with things? Not go through it. Curl up in a ball, turn on the TV, watch Netflix, and put a spoon in that bucket of ice cream you've got. Not shaming you for that, but why don't you try something different? I dare you. Why don't you try something different? Why don't you own up to what you are not doing and do it? Why don't you take your life into your own hands and stop switching off? Until next time, be good to yourself. Love yourself. Be kind. All right. Take care.